It's Triple Crown here, Thursday, July 25th, 2024, day 2 of the National 2024 in Cleveland, Ohio. Walking in here, there is an enormous, seemingly endless line of VIPs off to my left, off camera here, waiting to get in. I do have my media credentials, which does get me in the door a little bit early for the show. Allows me to get some footage of the show before it's just a sea of humanity. And boy, it was on Thursday. Now, after how well things went on day 1, day 2, really, I don't have as much pressure on me. Like, I've gotten the itch to make some big deals out of my system. I'm really ready to go. I'm going to keep looking in those value boxes. I still imagine dealers aren't going to be moving too much off their prices, but I think as this day goes on, things might ease up a little bit. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of traffic. Crazy amounts of traffic on the show floor, crazy amounts of traffic in the parking lot as well, but that's a different story for a different day. One thing I do want to talk about, why I didn't put out any of this during National Week, really it was because I wanted to be immersed in the National. There's a lot of things that go on outside of the show hours, whether that's trade nights, hanging out with friends, experiencing after show activities, whatever the case may be. And editing a video for a couple hours every single night and bringing all my equipment with me doesn't necessarily lend itself to being immersed in that experience. I know most people are probably looking forward to seeing this during the show, but it is what it is. Hopefully you'll understand. With that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and actually show what happened here on day 2. I think one of my favorite parts of this National, looking back on it already, is going to be how many cool cards I was able to add to the collections of fellow collectors through my work on the show floor. Talked about the deal with those back pages, Eric for the 52 Topps Jackie Robinson. Talked briefly in part 1 about the deal that I made with Joey Burt Cat 8 for the Bart Starr autograph I picked up with that Trout Dynasty. If you want to hear him talk more about it, I'll leave a link to his National Recap video in the description of this one down below. I had picked up a couple of cards for a friend back home, including a Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant rookie and a PSA 10. And then there was this deal here. Early Thursday morning, as I'm just kind of meandering the show floor, scouting out potential showcases I want to take a look at later in the day, I get a DM on Instagram asking if I would go to a specific booth to look for 2 specific Nolan Ryan cards. This is a Nolan Ryan super collector I'm talking to. I've known them for years. I said, sure, no problem. I was kind of asking as I was walking over there, what are you looking to pay on these? What else should I be looking out for? What kind of price range are you looking at on those? Just trying to prepare myself as much as possible. The cell phone service / Wi-Fi connection was spotty in the building. I'm sure you've heard about that ad nauseum if you've watched any other National Recap video. I wanted to make sure that I was as prepared as possible and didn't have to rely solely on a response from the person I was DMing in order to make a deal. That way I could kind of handle it on my own and make it as seamless as possible. We were still able to communicate pretty well. I think the Wi-Fi only cut out for a couple of minutes while I was over at this table, but really not a huge issue. So as you see here, I'm looking for 2 cards specifically that he asked me to keep an eye out for, and then I'm going to be looking in the 3-row box that this gentleman has of stuff that didn't make it into the showcase to see if there's anything on my friend's want list that I can also add to the stack. So that's the context behind this deal. Here's how it went down.
What's up, buddy?
Going?
How you doing?
I was looking for something specific that you had at some point. I wanted to see if you still have it. It's a terrible picture, sorry. The black Select 101 Nolan. Did you sell that one?
Let me see. Can I show you? Let me see.
Yeah. Gone? Okay.
Thanks for asking, though.
Yeah,
Sorry,
for sure. No, you're good.
Yeah, no.
There's a couple others that I'm looking at too. Just
okay, sure.
Coordinating with someone here.
Yeah, please do. Take your time.
Do you have any one-of-ones from High Tech by chance?
I don't think you want to look. You can look through the box here if you want to.
I'd love to. Yeah.
This is the rest of the Nolan Ryan collection.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so take a look. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Take a look here.
Unfortunately, the main card that my friend was after is gone. It was a 2013 Select 1-of-1 Black of Nolan Ryan. It was sold earlier on in the day. Unfortunately, I was a little too late to the party here, but now I'm going to go through this Nolan Ryan box. Like I said, there's a lot of really good stuff in here. You'll kind of get a feel for it as I show you some of this clip. But you told me he's looking for some low-numbered Panini stuff or low-numbered Topps Tech stuff. I'm talking to 25 or less. And with those parameters, I'm going to dig through this box and see what I can find. Obviously, there's a lot of really good stuff there. You see I find that high-tech red diffractor out of 5. That is certainly up his alley. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send pictures of it. Thankfully, everything is priced, so I know exactly what they're asking for it. You can see me here pulling out my camera to take a picture. I'm going to send this over to him, see what he says, and then kind of ask him along the same lines, hey, what are you looking to pay on something like this? And that way I can kind of coordinate things, make it as seamless as possible, and hopefully we'll still walk out with a consolation prize, even though the main card he's after is gone at this point.
Alright, he is going to pass on the gold one in that stack. The other two are yes. He's interested in those. So the lights out.
So he wants that?
He does not want that one. He's interested in those. And those 3, the Heritage 2017 and the 5-star.
That Heritage Auto was the other one that was high on my friend's want list. I am the one who's interested in that Nolan Ryan Auto. Figured I might as well try to bundle in something for myself. My friend Mike, Baseball Collector, does collect the 5-star Hall of Fame auto run. I know he needs quite a few Nolan Ryans. Turns out he didn't need that one, but regardless, I was still interested in trying to get that one, if nothing else.
850's bottom.
As soon as I built my stack, the guy who was helping me out went over to the main dealer and asked him for a bundle price on his own volition, which was very nice of him. He tells me that 850 is going to be his best. That's going to be a little bit too much for me on that Nolan Ryan 5-star auto. I'm trying to juggle what I want to pay on that and what my friend wants to pay on the rest of this stack. I think the one that we're the farthest apart on is the Heritage. I'm going to see what I can do trying to take that one out. My friend agreed with me that that was probably what was going to hold it up. So hopefully I can get a similar discount without that card, but I don't know how well that's going to work.
Good. Yeah. I finally got connected so I can get his messages again.
I have horrible service here.
Yeah.
So
if I take this one out, we'll do 400 cash for these.
you're going to take this one out?
Yeah. No.
I bought this deal in September last year. I haven't touched it. This is the first show it's been out at. Yeah. So it's going to be sticker.
On all those?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 3, 450, 510.
Man, I hate to walk away from some low number cards like that, but my friend was only comfortable with the sticker for that red tech. That's all I'm coming away with.
I'll just take the tech then, I think.
Tech?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll pass on it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your help.
Of course.
After I finished that deal, I did go back for the 2 Mound Marvels cards, the green out of 5 and the gold out of 10. My friend said that that was fine. The dealer did cut me an extra $10 off at that point in time, so it was $200 for those rather than $210. He was happy with them. He gave me a small finder's fee, but it was cool to negotiate, be able to get those cards for someone who was tracking them down. And like you heard the dealer say, he hasn't touched these since he bought them last September. And those types of cards, for that reason, are not always available on eBay. That's one of the beauties of this show, is that sometimes you'll find things that you can't find online. And it was cool to be able to take those from the show floor and be able to get them into the hands of a collector and into their forever home. I was not having any luck finding things I wanted at the prices I wanted in showcases. Therefore, I went back to the boxes at this point in the show, found this pretty solid row of boxes here, rated them for a nice little stack there, now going through this magnetic box, and I kind of got what I asked for finally. I found some 2020 blue ices for my set. Wasn't having any luck with the 3 blue refractors. I still needed to finish off the Topps Chrome set. But my Prism blue ice set, I did find a few additions in these boxes. However, it wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
And 9s are the lower tier that we're not even bringing to the show. So I'm just trying to be transparent with you as much as I possibly can. It would be a cheap buy minus like the 5 or 6 cards that I would be able to play strong. I just want to be fair to you. And you're wearing can't help but feel an affinity for that. I was born and raised just outside.
So yeah, it figures that when I finally find a blue ice I need for my set, it happens to be that guy. Now I did find a Patrick Peterson and a Devin Ossie in there, the former of the two. I actually had bought on eBay a couple weeks ago, but it got lost in the mail, so now I have a replacement for that, which is nice. But yeah, I figured, you know, maybe I'll find some blue ices in this box. Definitely didn't expect to find, you know who I'm talking about, but it is what it is. You need 400 cards to complete the set, and unfortunately, he is one of them. I did find a nice stack of value box cards to go along with it, though, and then that awesome Zach Moss RPA that you see there. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a discount off my stack. Let's see if they'll work with me a little bit.
I think I'm ready to check out.
Okay.
It's 161. Can I get to 130 with it?
161. 161. We would usually go like 150. I'll go 145 would be my bottom.
All right, that works.
Yeah.
Do you need small bills at all, or are you good?
No, that'll be fine. That'll work fine. Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Actually, I lost the sleeve, so.
Hey, can I take a look at these 52s, please?
This stack here?
All three of them.
All right, hang on a second.
Saw Warren Spawn 52 tops in this showcase, and I know my friend Mike, baseball collector, needs quite a few 52s for his 4-decade set. Therefore, I'm going to take a look at this stack and see if maybe there's something hidden underneath that he may need. One thing I want to say, if you are a set builder like myself, or kind of like Mike is here, having your checklist on something like Google Sheets is a phenomenal way if you want people to help you with your set needs. I convinced Mike to put his set needs on Google Docs so that I could see what he has. It's basically a live updating spreadsheet. That way I know exactly what he still needs. I don't have to rely on him constantly sending me a list. He has all the card numbers on there. He has what projects they go for, and I kind of know which projects he prioritizes. I kind of have a feel for what grades he wants on certain cards, what he's willing to pay on certain cards, and it makes the process a lot easier. So just a little tip out there, having your checklist on something that is easily accessible and live up to date like Google Sheets is definitely something I would highly recommend. Unfortunately, the only Hall of Famer in the stack was the Warren Spawn, aside from maybe one or two other ones that were hidden underneath, but none that he needed for his set. So doesn't hurt to try and take a look around, but nothing for him or for me here in this stack.
You're good on these.
Here's something I don't know if I've ever shown before in one of my vlogs, but it is me going up to a dealer looking to sell. And the reason you don't normally see that is, number one, I'm usually the dealer, or number two, if I'm going around to a show looking to buy, I do bring stuff with me in the event that I might need to trade, or someone I know is going to be there who's looking to buy from me, who buys from me on the regular, but very seldom am I going to do that. And last year at the National, I did a lot of this, trying to sell to various dealers. I kind of got frustrated at certain points because you'd see something in their case that's way overpriced, but then when you bring something up to them, they act like they have to put it out at this kind of discounted price in order to sell it, when their showcase prices definitely do not reflect that sentiment. This gentleman here had a really nice selection of high-end baseball. He had some other sports mixed in there too, but he had a lot of Dynasty stuff in there, and he had it marked up pretty considerably. It wasn't unreasonable, but he definitely knew what was really good, and he wanted a premium for it. Not an unreasonable price, but a premium. And that was someone that I felt like I could really work with. I kind of pick and chose my spots in terms of who I wanted to sell to. As I mentioned in part one, I felt like this was someone that I could work with, especially on some of my Dynasty stuff.
Were you able to find a comp for that?
No, because it's called like the rookie treasure, but if you search that, you still get the same results.
I'm looking literally through everything. Any patch auto, I'm looking. I just can't find anything that would get me to like anywhere near that number. Like the crossover ones, the one where the patch is on the right side, that aren't acetate, and me personally, I prefer non-acetate cards.
Yeah.
They're like the added 10 to like 250. I mean, you got a little better patch because you technically got 3-color.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kid you not, literally 2 years back already. I can't find anything.
Right. Let's
I had the
on that
Amon-Ra with this, and it was 2.7, I think. Sick patch, like the Lion.
Yeah.
And it did 250. And their RPAs are pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's worth more than 250. Don't get me wrong. Just I wouldn't bet no 750 on it.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, I'm happy to try to work something out. The last thing I want to do is insult you.
No, you're fine.
Same thing like this one. One PSA, it wasn't a 9 or a 10, but I think it was an 8. This is $70, and a raw did 99.
All right. Yeah, I'll be too far on that one. That's all right.
I like it. It's like perfect for what I need. It's just.
Yeah, I understand.
Like I'd pay stronger on it. I'd
probably prefer to hold it at those prices, but yeah, let me take these two off the table. But those definitely.
You want to trade or sell?
So.
Okay. These with like the out of 5 or the 10, like the nicer, like the purple and the 3 color patches.
Right. Yeah.
They're right at that $90-$100 mark. But the like more plain patches, they've gone like $60-$70.
Yeah.
I mean, could you do 60 a piece on them?
I could do 70 a piece, but if you can't do it, no worries.
All right, just leave it there for now. I'm not saying no. I just
for sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to bundle it in.
Yeah.
Talk to me on this one because the one I showed you was 15, but it had the halo.
Right.
The other ones, just like that, have all been like 1,100.
I saw one the other day for like 14 or 15 as well.
Did it have the halo on it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you, the halo's a huge premium. Because I buy almost everyone with the halo.
Oh, I don't know if it did or not. I know it just had part of the logo. I don't know if it was like.
I looked at anything that had the A with the side.
Okay,
the ones with the side I do like 8 or 9. I didn't want to lie to you. The A is worth more than that, and then the halo's the next step.
I can see that.
I mean, it's like an $1,100 card.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I'd pay stronger on it because I'd keep it. I'd pay $1,000.
While $1,000 would be profitable for me on that Trout, it's not a card that I'm necessarily looking to move immediately. Again, I just got this in part 1, so I'm going to be a little bit firmer on that. I'm going to push for 11, possibly 12 on it, but definitely not going to just settle at $1,000.
Depending on the other ones too, like what do you think on those?
Like, where are you on that thing? Like, what's your best price?
Like 220.
Did you get down to 200?
Be at 220.
Okay. And what about that? That I can show you. I just had it up.
Yeah.
So most of his stuff right now, unless it's like one of 2 years, which I don't understand why. One of them's the black and white year. I think that's just 21. And the other
one.
Yeah, and the 19s. The 19s in that year are just insane. And I only know that because I have the master set run for everyone. These were the 2 comps from that year. It's worth more than that because that's Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
And you have a better patch than that, but I don't know what the offer was. I mean, I could look it up, I guess. Most of his other stuff's in like the $1,200 to $1,400 range.
For an out of 5.
The 10s and the 5s. Nice patch 10s and out of 5s. They're like 900 if they're ugly patches. I like your patch.
I disagreed with his assessment on the Griffey Dynasty. I definitely think it's worth more than that. As you can see, these older Griffies do not pop up very often, and the Mariners ones command a far higher premium than the Reds ones, as he was saying. He definitely knows his stuff. He has a really impressive Dynasty collection here, but we're going to be too far apart on that one. The Beltran was kind of interesting to me because he had the exact same card in his case at 325, but he was trying to talk me down to 2 from 220. That was kind of one of those things where I'm like, well, I mean, you got it at 325 in my head, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers, but that was interesting to me.
I mean, what's your bottom on it?
I'm not close to that, so
How far off?
Pretty far. So I'll hold it for now.
Are you over 1,500?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I do $1,450. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on. I put that at the full price. $1,350. $1,200. I went up on this to offset the number on that. So I went to 75 a piece on these, even though you said 70. I was at 6 to cover the $20 here. It basically got you an extra 30 on these. Because I was at 60 on these, so I went up instead of 120, I went to 150 here, just to make the math for me.
I understand, yeah.
So 1350 is where I'd be.
I'll hold this. I'll give you 2 on this if you give me my 70 on these.
I want that.
I know you do. I don't want to sell it at 1,000 though. I don't want to hold you up too, because you got
What's like
11 would be my best time.
well 1400 even?
Yeah, we're gonna hold for a month. 11 on this one, 270 each.
1440.
Thank you.
Can you pay us?
I'm pretty pleased with that. The Trout helped me break even on those KBs, and I thought I was going to lose on them. Let's go into his PC. I was able to gain $200 on it for less than a day hold time. That's pretty good. Maybe I could have held out for more, but I think it was a pretty fair deal for both sides. Thanks to him for working with me.
I'll be wrong. There he is.
Last clip of day 2, and this one was interesting, to say the least. I'm interested in 3 cards that are not marked in the showcase. Don't know what they're worth. I'm trying to get someone's attention. I finally do, and then when I ask I'm interested in a few cards, he walks away and then comes back. Eric meets up with me because we're about to leave for the Tops Q&A, but I want to try to get these cards before I leave, but show you what happens.
Yeah, I want to get his prices on a couple of these.
On the pools? Maybe
He has like 4 of them. Yeah. No, 4 that I want.
Okay.
If he had 4 pools, that would be like, what was that? I'm interested in the Josh Young.
All right, well, no, that's
That one, yeah. All right. The Pujols, the blue, sparkly one.
that one, yeah. I like that.
Oh, that's actually not for sale because now he found out Pujols is here and wants to get it signed.
No price.
All
I was
right.
just informed of that.
Oh, that's the checklist.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, it would have been cheaper than the regular one.
Right.
Soto. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, $700.
Okay. And then the Mookie. Yeah, that one right there.
No price.
All right. I'll see what he says on those 2 then.
So he had the Pools in his case, which he's not selling because he's about to get it signed. 2 of the other cards I'm interested in are not priced, and then the Soto is way above what I'm looking to pay for it. So curious to see what he says about the Young and the Mookie.
Good. I was interested in the Josh Young and the Mookie. I was wondering what you were asking on them.
The Mookie?
Yeah.
The Jong I really don't want to sell because there's like a secret like collector's ratings. I pay a ton of money for it, but he's a beast. Like he's on his rehab assignment. He'll be back smashing baseballs.
All right. What about the Mookie then?
Bad time. Mookie, it's the only one graded, and I just got it back. $280.
So yeah, the Pujols no longer available for sale because he's about to get it signed, even though he left it in the case. The Josh Young is in the case for sale, but he doesn't want to sell it and doesn't have a price on it because he's coming back from injury soon, and there is a quote-unquote secret collector base of Red Ink Heritage fans. And then the Mookie apparently is the only one graded, even though there was another graded one in a PSA 10 that had sold back in May. He has a 9. He's asking $280 for it. Interesting, to say the least. So after that interaction, I decided, you know what, let's go to the Tops Q&A. And that was it for day 2 of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed today's vlog. Be back with another one pretty soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, and be kind.